Hi everyone, my name is Shelley Darling and I'm here to invite you into Dowsing and Earth Consciousness today. And here we are, it's Earth Day, and we have this incredible opportunity to bring our love and light and amplify this frequency for Earth, on Earth, with each other. So if you've been joining us for the past 7 days, this is the 8th day of Love Lives Here Earth edition, you'll have gotten a sense of really bonding our awareness to the earth, becoming wider in our understanding of some of these beautiful uh, artists and musicians and animated kids videos, helping us to really put our feet down and slow down enough to really feel this sacred relationship with Earth. So today I'm going to invite you in a little bit deeper. And for those who have just begun to learn about dowsing, it's just such an incredible opportunity to build our awareness of who we truly are. And that's what I'm going to speak to today, really about the love and how dowsing is a portal to more love, a portal to more joy. How about that? So really, how can we enhance our abilities to communicate with each other, to feel a greater sense of groundedness, at the same time feel a levity, a joy, a delight in being who we are? And for most of us, we don't really think about our environments. We think about trainings or workshops or different things like that, or going to a massage therapist. We don't think about our personal effect on the earth and in our homes and in our habitats. And that was really an extraordinary expanding experience for myself as well. And in 2008, I knew nothing about dowsing, and it came out of left field. But when I just put these beautiful dowsing rods, and you can use coat hangers, or I even have a friend who was a dowser, lives in Nebraska, and he would just pull those wires up from the ground that are markers for different things. They use them for highways, and he would bend those and use those. So it doesn't really depend on you don't have to have the luxury rods, although they're fun and they're nice. And there are rods that are really highly activated for this work. But simply, when I put these rods in my hand, there was a sense of a deep remembering and a surge of joy that I had no earlier experience of, right? And what happened from that point was I began to become aware of the house as a conscious energy. Everything is energy. Everything is made of light. Everything is vibration. And this is the opportunity to become more who you are within that embodiment and expression. And so dowsing is simply the opportunity to really give visibility to these subtle energies that are always around us. The wind, we watch the wind moving. Well, what we're speaking to are these waves, this force of nature that is within our birth and is constantly moving as atoms within our system, right? And so as these energies cluster, they create form. And what I began to understand and have now found really the greatest passion and joy is to support people, and recently been realizing that dowsing is a pathway to greater freedom and purpose and joy. And that's what I've begun to feel is this opportunity is to understand how we can use dowsing in whatever other practice that we're doing, that we can bring it into everything from checking our health to checking dissonant energies within a home and to working with elementals and nature spirits on our land and to create a sense of harmony. And the beauty of which is that we as light beings raise our frequency. And so now we can raise the energy of our homes to create spaces where there's greater harmony, love, and focus. Because when these energies, I'm sitting here by the pool and there's a big like telephone tower right outside. And those frequencies really create an impact on our bodies. And so we want to be able to be fully functioning. So, and the land, we want to be in its greatest potential, its highest potential, right? So if you've come here for these past 8 days, we're just giving you little glimpses of the things that we as dowsers work with and play with. Charlie brought in his skulls. We showed you about his dowsing rods that he makes in Maine. And here today, we're just talking about love and specifically the magic, the return to magic, and have the opportunity to allow this vibrational patterning to affect others, to influence others in their right timing. So let me tell you a little story. So recently, maybe a couple of weeks ago, I dowsed a house here in Florida. And it was to be the dream house of a friend of mine and her husband. And when I went to this house, there was a lot of stagnated energy. And my attention went to this big grandmother tree in the back right-hand corner of the property. And if you know anything about feng shui, that's the kun, the hua of relationship. This place where we nurture ourselves and nurture each other. And I began to realize that this was the essence and the power of this particular dowsing. And as I cleared the interference and the geopathic stress and began to communicate with the elementals, I began to have a deeper sense of what was going on. And as I fast forwarded with you, I completed that dowsing, and apparently the very next day, that husband and wife had a very big fight on that land. And you might go, I don't want to be doused. I don't want to have that happen. And yet, for that particular couple, especially one, she had been feeling that there was dissonance for years, and deeply inside there was a lot of energy and anger and kind of bad mouthing and not ever finding that sense of connection and peace. And what happens in dowsing is that anything other than that harmonic vibration is going to come up, because ultimately we as human beings, we want to be living in the highest vibration. We want to be living on purpose, and we want to have that be exercised in our relationships. And so an extraordinary thing happened. When they both were together in that field, they had this realization that though they loved each other, it wasn't no longer right, and neither one could have the courage to have brought that forth. So the dowsing did it, right? And to this day, they are having this amazing experience. And he's going to move into that doused house, and she's living in her doused house, and the love is able to flourish because the pressure is off. And you might think, well, I don't know about that. But I don't know why today that's coming up, but because this is Earth Day. And the earth needs us. She needs us to be living in our joy, in our highest capacity. And so, one of the things that I've been realizing is that my purpose through the dowsing is to set the energies free, to set those ones that are free, to set you free, so that you can be in your joy, doing your service for the greatest good of the whole. And we can't do that when we're feeling small. So imagine you're walking by a house and you see this house and it's very dark and you know someone lives there, but they're not really showing up. Or you walk into a home and you immediately feel your body close down. These are homes that have what we call a illness or sick syndrome, where they can't fully manifest their beauty and glory for those people that are living in there. So as dowsers, we have this incredible opportunity to create spaces that allow for synergistic union, that allow for us to move into the next phase of our calling, right? And it, for the experience of that, it's not just the home or the environment separately. It's the whole gamut. It affects our heart, and I can speak from my heart for those that you know me, the heart, the home, and the habitat. And the joy, the return to the magic, right? So as children, we had that sense of magic. Everybody's had a moment where they connected with something that was beyond their own sensibility, be it a tree, be it by the ocean. And this is the opportunity to come back to that magic. And that is that coming home, that sense of wholeness, and to create an environment that has that feeling to it. Because when people walk on that land that's doused, that has had some land healing, and even as a practitioner, where you can hold the space to support the transmutation. And this is really beautiful. We've just come from Easter. We're now on Earth Day. This transmutation, this movement, this metamorphosis that we can create as dowsers for others. And that's really why I'm in this. I don't know why, other dowsers, yeah, sure, it's about looking for water, practical things. But for me, this is the most practical opportunity to experience how, as individuals, we can create environmental spaces that energetically support this evolution of consciousness, right? We've been holding the space for Barbara Marx Hubbard, holding tribute for her, and this evolution of consciousness, that our crisis is a birth. It's the same thing in our home. It's the same thing in our relationships, that which is coming up is looking to be embraced, cherished, and healed. And we can hold space when we're dousing the house for someone's consciousness to begin that shifting. Because in a beta house, in a house that is closed, it's impossible to tap into our soul and our soul desire. Doesn't matter how many trainings we go to, we always come back into that home. So to have your house doused, to become a dowser, and essentially we are all indigenous of this land. We already have a relationship. We are all indigenous to the earth. So if this is the greatest celebration today, is to remember that. What does that feel like, and how can I participate? So want to just invite you to explore and discover and play once again, and create a field of joy and delight, and really being able to track that compass And for me, one of the greatest fun experiences was dowsing Barbara Marx Hubbard's house. So actually, most people don't know that. And she asked me one time, what would it be to take my lid off? And I said, well, I see myself dowsing your house. There's something there, and I had that experience, and she had that experience. And it was incredibly powerful because sometimes the house has a message, and that message can support the evolution of your consciousness or the evolution of, a friend's consciousness. So we invite you into this sacred science of dowsing. And if you really want to learn more, you can go to Golden Light Dowsing, Earth Medicine Alchemy. Give me a call, email me at goldenlightdowsing@gmail.com. And let's bring this greater capacity of intuition and love and peace into our own homes, our own hearts, and the land. And what starts happening with the land is everything starts to dance. There's a magic, there's a sense. Flowers start to grow in a way that they hadn't. Our love is everything. And as we're celebrating Earth Day, let's embrace this new perspective, this whole perspective, and cultivate a vibrational field that allows this blossoming for ourselves and the greater family here of humanity. So it's been a lot of fun. Next month for Good of the Whole, we will be offering a peek into 5G, the 5th generation. And why? Because even though this earth is a great playground, a bountiful harvest of beauty and gorgeous food, we are being very affected by these non-beneficial energies. Here we're a culture of wanting greater speed and capacity for our computers and our cell phones, but our health is at risk. And so I've heard the earth calling, and so I'm going out and speaking about fifth generation of this technology, these waves of energy that really one of the most important things is to understand is how they're polarized waves. So we're going to be speaking to that and give a little view into that. And come join me at the Dowsing Convention in New Hampshire, where I'll be giving a workshop on 5G and the boiling frog principle, as well as mini workshops on you, me, and 5G. So let's learn, let's understand where we came from, how did we get here, where are we now, and where are we going. And come play and let's learn. The other thing I'll leave you with is if you are wanting to advance your dowsing skills, I'm involved with working with Cara Breeze and the Expand community, and we have this amazing module where you can learn dowsing from these beautiful 30 videos or more, and also have an affordable way to join in monthly with group practice and really take your own case studies forward in such a magnificent way. All right, so happy Earth Day. Celebrate yourself, celebrate Earth. Make sure you spend some time in nature, and we love you. Yeah, and so let's just take a breath together in that great honoring of this beautiful planet and these gorgeous waves of light, not just from the sun, but how light affects our inner waters. Thank you for joining us for Love Lives Here. And if this is your first time even hearing about it, you can go to goodofthewhole.com, click on Love Lives Here, and you will have full access to all the resources, all the videos, art, music, community action, even children's Earth videos as well. So bye for now, and we'll see you soon.